a few minutes ago that it seemed like about a year ago, maybe it was June or July, we did this there at Sourwood, the restaurant, and was raring to go in November. And then, of course, COVID happened. But as our fearless CEO says, our CFO, excuse me, well, was my slides not going to work? There we go. As Richard Fain says, we are already one day closer to calmer seas. You might have heard or might have seen in the news that we did come up with what we are calling the Healthy Sail Panel. It's a group of individuals that are going to assist us with our plan to re-enter service coming up, hopefully November 1st. We know we're going to be ready November 1st. They're preparing our new health and safety procedures to present to the CDC at the end of this month. And then hopefully the CDC will look through them and approve them quickly so we can get back to sailing at a smaller capacity November 1st. As Mike said, we are suspended right now through October 31st. So if any of you did have a sailing with us that was suspended, you would get a FCC a value of 125% or 100% full refund. So going forward, if you have any bookings with us that does happen to get suspended, you would be eligible for that full refund or 125% FCC. And then we just came out not long ago with what we're calling the lift and shift option, where you can actually take that cruise, lift it to next year, same time, same day, similar ship, similar time frame, and get the same price. And that's what Mike's group did here in the Galapagos. They were in November. We lifted and shifted it to May. The whole group did. So they're going to go out in May and have a great time. And then our Cruise with Confidence policy. This is our new policy, being that the times that we are in, we want everybody to feel comfortable about booking with Celebrity Cruises. And this is a Royal Caribbean Incorporated policy. But going forward, when you book with us by September 30th, you will be eligible for what we call the Cruise with Confidence policy. And we have extended this policy a few times. Whereas when you book a cruise, you'll get the best price up to 48 hours. So for some reason, if the price lowers within 48 hours of your departure, you are eligible for that price. Or if you want to cancel for any reason, you can cancel up to 48 hours prior to that sailing and get 100% future cruise credit. And if you do book by September 30th, we are also eligible for the lift and shift option. So where are our ships? Where are our crew? A lot of guests and clients have asked us that recently. All of our crew that have wanted to go home are now home. It was very challenging with travel restrictions, not only for their countries, but our countries. All of our ships, though, have now been green lighted by the CDC, where crews could fly commercially home from the ship. So they deemed our ships safe. They green lighted them. So we're excited to get that news. And our sister brand TUI over in Europe has already been operating some Europe cruises at a lower capacity very successfully. So there is good news on the horizon. And then Edge and Apex, we rolled out Edge right before all this happened in 2019, very into 2018, and she was so well received. And Celebrity Apex was supposed to come out on April 1st, and she hasn't had a guest sail on her yet. So it's very, very saddening for us. But the Apex will be in the Caribbean this fall and winter, and then in the spring as well. These are the two ships that we plan on coming back with first when we do get the green light from the CDC. So they'll do 7-night Eastern and Western Caribbean itineraries starting this November, as well as, and they'll alternate weeks. So if you want to do Eastern and Western, you can go 14 nights back to back if you'd like. And they go out of Fort Lauderdale, brand new Pier 25 that we built for Edge. And what's unique about this is when you book Edge and Apex, with social distancing and now everybody want to do contactless deliveries with food, the boarding process will be much simpler because you'll have the Celebrity app and you can put in all your information. You literally just take a picture of your passport. It populates all your information. You put in your payment information for your charge account. You take a selfie, and then when you get to the pier, you literally just scan a barcode. It pops up. The pier agent can actually see your face, confirm it's you, and you go straight to your staterooms, and the keys are waiting there in your stateroom. Same way with the mustard now. You might have saw where we came out with a new mustard system, whereas now you will not have to go to the same place and all gather at once. We will get together in your stateroom, and you'll go through your TV, or you can go through the app on your phone. There's a couple things you have to check off watching the safety video, and then you just have to physically go to the muster station at some point, not all at once, and just check in there. And going forward, that's how we're going to do the muster system. It's just another way to improve cruising. And I always tell everybody that, the cruise ships, we were always held to such a higher standard anyway, because of the cleanliness and health and safety procedures. So going forward, it's just going to be a much safer way to cruise, and we're looking forward to it. This was the biggest news ever this year, and we hope the Constellation will get to start in November. We know a couple of her sailings will be canceled out of Tampa, but we're excited that she will be coming to Tampa this fall. She's going to do some of the longer itineraries. So she actually has a Panama Canal there, a couple Eastern Caribbeans, and then ABC Islands. So really unique itineraries, a little bit longer itineraries than what most cruise lines operate out of Tampa. But the Constellation is still planning to come to Tampa this fall, and we're going to be excited to have her there. But we all came here tonight to talk about the Galapagos. It is a bucket list destination. I too was planning to go this year with Mike, not with Mike on the same date, but at some point this year. And obviously we're not going to get there this year, but it's going to be on my list for sure to get to in 2021 or 2022. And it really is just a trip of a lifetime. And we offer a truly seamless, all-inclusive, environmentally conscious vacation, celebrity style. As Mike said, you know, it probably did need a break. There's strict rules in the Galapagos Islands. We are only allowed 154 park passes each week. So that's why we have the 3 ships there, and we can only take 154 guests to the Galapagos each week. You're not allowed to be on the islands after 6 p.m. just to conserve the beauty of the area. And a lot of people want to know, where is the Galapagos Islands? Basically, it's about 600 miles west of Ecuador. So you see the plane leaving Quito there, and I'll tell you more about that. First, I'm going to show you a quick video about the destination and Celebrity Expedition. This was before the expedition was renovated, and then I'll show you some pictures after she was renovated, because she was actually the first ship that we renovated as part of the Celebrity Revolution. She was done in October of 2018. So she's only been renovated now for just over a year and a half or so. So I'll show you a quick video about the destination and the ship, and then I'll show you some highlights after.
The stories began long ago. Tales of the famous voyage of Charles Darwin to a mysterious, isolated island chain. Through a special arrangement with the government of Ecuador, Celebrity Cruises invites you to experience for yourself the amazing, legendary Galapagos Islands. Your expedition begins in Quito, Ecuador, with a grand tour of this spectacular 2-mile-high city. A welcome reception awaits at the fabulous new 5-star JW Marriott Hotel. The next morning, it's all aboard a new Airbus 320. Destination, your new home for the next 8 days, a state-of-the-art 96-passenger ship, fittingly called Expedition. Within just a few hours, you'll find yourself headed ashore with a small, intimate group of fellow explorers, ready to be immersed among the countless species that have called the islands home for centuries. Expedition's extremely knowledgeable team of licensed naturalists serve as your personal guides, answering your questions, introducing the unbelievable sights of this incredibly unique environment. The animals on the islands just don't have a natural fear of humans. They seem to think of us as just another creature. It makes you wonder who is studying whom. You will visit 7 islands, go on 15 excursions, and see things up close you never dreamed you would see. For every island expedition, you have a choice of low, medium, and high-impact excursions. You'll learn the scientific importance of the Galapagos and what is being done to carefully preserve it. Back on board, your comfort is well taken care of by an extremely attentive and friendly staff. Expedition has plenty of room and plenty of amenities. Whether in the main dining room or taking lunch on the top deck, the quality of the food is what you expect on a celebrity ship. Fantastic. Every evening offers an opportunity for sharing your adventure with fellow explorers, followed by a fascinating preview of the next day's adventures. By the time you leave the islands, you will actually have experienced more of the Galapagos than Charles Darwin himself. One thing is for certain. Your adventures in the Galapagos will have a lasting effect. And though you will eventually leave the Galapagos will never leave you.
It's such a beautiful destination, and that's what the Celebrity Expedition looks like today. It was renovated in 2018. As you saw, the video said it was for 96 guests, and for about 10 years, 11 years, it was for 96 guests. It was built for 96 guests. Now it only holds 48 guests. So we've scaled it down to 48 guests. We've enhanced the stateroom, some of the public areas, the crew quarters, and so forth. So what comes with the 10+ night packages? Mike's group's actually doing the 11-night package. So they're going to do 2 nights pre and post in Quito. The round trip flight from Baltra, it's a charter flight into Quito to meet the ship. All the meals, including room services, all beverages, all gratuities, all onboard programming, all shore excursions led by our naturalist, all the snorkeling equipment and wetsuits, the use of binoculars in the bathrobes, the internet service, and of course, the Galapagos National Park entrance fees and tourist card fee. So everything is included when we're on land. The tours are included as well as the meals in Quito. So we do city tours and different tours throughout Quito. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And everything, it's an all-inclusive experience once you land in Quito. And we are gonna do the Southern Loop. Everyone always asks me about the difference in itineraries. We all see the same amount of islands. We're all going to see the same wildlife. The only difference is the Galapagos National Park tells us which route we can go which week. And on this particular date, we're going to go the Southern Loop. There are only 6 staterooms available on this date. We have 5 what we call XP Premium Ocean View staterooms. And then we have the 1 penthouse suite that's left. There's 2 on board. We have 1 penthouse suite left. So we on this particular date with the group. We're doing the 11-night package, so it's 2 nights pre in Quito, 7 nights of the all-inclusive cruise, and then 2 nights post in Quito. If you want, there's also opportunity to go over to Machu Picchu on a 16-night excursion on this date. So if you wanted to do that, you would do 2 nights in Quito, 7 nights in the on the cruise, and then 7 nights the Peru post cruise. So we start off in the beautiful JW Marriott. We'll have 2 nights there before we board the plane over, and it's a beautiful colonial city. We'll do some city tours. We'll have some meals included, and then we'll get on a chartered flight into Baltra, and that's where we'll meet the Celebrity Expedition. She was inaugurated in 2004. She's been upgraded multiple times. The most recent was being a part of the Celebrity Revolution in October of 2018, and we scaled her down from the 96 guests to the 48 guests. When we redid her, we added some different unique things from Edge class and the idea of Edge when she was coming out. So this is a resort deck, and it's hard to do on a Galapagos ship, but this is as modern luxury as a Galapagos will ever get. And this is the Beagle Grill, so up top there. And then, of course, the Discovery Lounge. So on board, the naturalists each night will come in and will tell you what we saw during the day and what we're going to see the next day, and then take any questions. So they're really the entertainment. So we don't have any shows on board the expedition while we're in the Galapagos. And then, of course, Darwin's Restaurant. It's only for 48 guests, so we don't need a very big dining room area. Very elegant. And then, of course, multiple classes of staterooms. On this one, this is actually the balcony stateroom. We only have the premium ocean views available, and then the 1 penthouse on this particular date. But we do have other dates. And then, of course, the wildlife is what people come to the Galapagos for. As the video said, you know, you never know really who's studying whom when you're there, because they've never been hunted, so they've never been in fear of people. So they're almost just as curious as we are. And then there's different activities that we do. So each day there'll be a couple different levels of activity. So you can do what you feel comfortable doing or what you want to do in the Galapagos. There is advanced snorkeling and beginner snorkeling. Of course, there's kayaking. We have off-beach excursions, and then hiking. Everything's included, and it is with a naturalist. So each day you'll have a couple different naturalists on board. There's usually 1 for every 9 guests on board the ship. and they'll tell you what tours they'll be leading, what activity level it is, so you can choose the night before what you're up for the next day. And then in Santa Cruz, they're really known for the beautiful tortoises, so we're going to get to see the wildlife there. And with the one naturalist for every 9 guests, you really do get that intimate experience. You get up close and personal where you can get some good photo opportunities. And then we'll go out to Fernandina Island, and Fernandina Island's really unique because of the marine iguanas. They're the only iguanas that live off water from the sea. So they live off the algae that you see here. So they swim, they blend in very well with that volcanic rock right there. So the marine iguanas are a very unique species to the Galapagos. And then you'll get to see the only bird that doesn't fly. The flightless cormorant actually learned to live off food from the sea, and it lost its ability to fly. So it's the only bird that cannot fly. And then Mike was talking earlier about our friend the boobies. There's 3 different boobies. The blue-footed one gets all the fame, and I don't understand why. The red-footed booby is just as popular. What's unique about the boobies is, I'm told, I've never been myself, but the legs, they're blue and red, but there's different shades of blue and red. And you can tell how good of a hunter the male is by how dark their legs are. So it's very unique. I'm not familiar with the story about why we have to give the red one more love, Mike, if you want to share it.
No, we just said that, the poor red one doesn't really get notated in many of the photos and opportunities. It's always the blue-footed ones. And so I just thought, well, we'll give the red-footed one some love as well. So.
All right. I didn't know if you had a story behind it, but
No.
absolutely though. But they are unique birds, and we'll get a chance to see all 3 of them. And then, of course, the albatrosses. Now, this is very unique because I was told a story about this, and I actually researched it to make sure it was true, because at first I thought they were pulling my leg, because I'm a younger guy at Celebrity, and everybody's trying to get me married pretty soon. And they were telling me the story about albatrosses, because when an albatross finds its mate, they have a chick, they raise the chick, and then they fly away. The next year, the same 2 come back at the same time of year and do it all over again. So their mating season is April through November. So you'll get a chance to see the albatrosses. Once they pick a mate, they keep it for life, and they have their chicks, they raise them, and then they fly away. And then when they come back each year and redo it all over again. So they're very loyal and very faithful species. And then in Gardner Bay, this is where we're going to get to play with sea lions. It's a very unique experience because you really can get up close with them. While you're out, you can do some snorkeling with them, and they really love to play. So they'll come up, they'll blow bubbles with you. You'll have a chance to touch them. It's a very unique experience, and you have a chance to play with them. And you'll get that close up close with them because they really like to play. I've had many people come back and tell me how they blew bubbles in their face. I had one set of grandparents that brought their grandchild that was about 5 years old, and he hadn't learned how to swim yet. And he was in the water, and he was kind of scared about the water, and a little baby sea lion came up and started swimming around him and playing. So he put his goggles on, and he went down and started to almost swim. And that's really how he learned how to swim, was in the Galapagos Islands. So it's kind of, I learned how to swim at the YMCA. That's kind of hard to top that story. And then everyone always asks me about what the weather is like in the Galapagos Islands. So we're along the equator, so it's pretty warm year round. January through June is warm, very, very warm. The warmest is March and April, and it's also the wettest. So we're going to go in May, so it'll be warm, but we won't get any of the rainy season. And then you see July through December, it gets dry, and then we have some fog and mist that commonly hangs in the higher elevation. So we're going to be going in May. It'll be a great time of year, and we already got five couples going. And then I always get questions about what's the difference in the itineraries. And like I told you at the very beginning, it's pretty much going to get to see and have the same experience no matter whether you're on the northern loop or the southern loop. All the ships going to give you the greatest. We have 3 ships there. They all going to deliver a quality modern luxury vacation. We're on the expedition for a couple of different reasons. It worked with the time frame, and this is going to be a ship that when we go back to service is going to be ready to go, because we don't have to worry about reducing capacity, because the capacity's already been reduced. It was set up to hold 98 guests, and we've already got it at 48 guests because of those park passes. We're only allowed 156, park passes. So we had to split them up between the 3 ships. And then again, don't forget, we're doing the 11-night package, but if you wanted to go out and do Machu Picchu and Peru, you absolutely can with the 16-night package. But for us, we'll do the 2 nights pre in Quito, then we'll do the 7-night all-inclusive cruise, and then we're going to do the 2 nights post in Quito. And the reason why we do it, we actually sell a 7-night cruise, and that's how you have a great travel agent in Mike, because I would never sell the 7-night cruise, even though it's a little bit less expensive, because basically flying there is it's basically 2 red eyes coming home. And after you've had a magical vacation in the Galapagos, the last thing you want to deal with is a couple red eyes. So we're going to have the full experience with doing 2 nights pre and then 2 nights post in Quito. And then these are the 3 ships we have. So we have the exploration. So for some reason, if the May date does not work for you, or you just can't swing it in May, but it is on your list, we have 3 different ships that operate basically every 11 days, give or take, because the 7-night cruise is always set. So we have the Expedition. That's the one we're going to go on with the 48 guests. We have the Celebrity Flora, which came out in 2019. She was actually the second ship, a part of the Revolution. Expedition was renovated as the first. Flora was released as the second ship, part of the Revolution. She's 50 staterooms, 100 guests. And then Exploration is our catamaran. She's 8 staterooms, 16 guests. So we have 3 different ships that you can see the Galapagos in, and they stay in the Galapagos year round. And then the deal. I've never seen a deal like this prior to all this happening. We were running this deal, and it was just unheard of because the Galapagos sold itself. We added 2 extra ships for that exact reason, because for the longest time, all we had was the Celebrity Expedition, which is the ship that you guys are going on, and it held 98 guests, and we sold it out. And Mike would have guests that want to go, and he'd say, hey, how's a year and a half look from now? Because that's how full it was. So then we added the 2 extra ships, and we started running this deal. For the Galapagos, it's buy one, get one half off, plus free round trip air up to $750 per person for all of our dates that we have out through 2022 currently, but it would apply to this May date. All you have to do is put your deposit down by August 31st, not travel by then. And then final payments due 150 days prior to sailing. So if you are interested in this sailing or any of the Galapagos sailings, Mike can set you up. We can look at dates and get you quotes on it. I have the pricing for this particular trip. The premium Ocean View is running $75.44 person, all taxes and fees included. That's everything. And then the 1 penthouse we have left is running $12,664 or $644 per person. So we have 1 penthouse left, and then we got the 5 premium Ocean View staterooms on this May 21st date if you guys are interested in it. That's all I have, but I'll take any questions you guys have about the itinerary or the ship, and I'll unshare my screen so we can see everyone. Give me 1 second, and any comments too if you have any, Mike.
Yeah, well, if anybody wants to ask Carl any questions, if you're familiar or how to unmute yourself on Zoom, feel free to
Hi, everybody.
So, we can ask questions, and nobody may have any questions, but this is really a very key departure because of, it should be one of the, hopefully in the goings out again of the Galapagos. Hopefully this spring will tell whether this industry is coming back or not. Plus, you have to remember this whole thing is an all-inclusive almost proposition. Everything on board is included. It's buy one, get the second one half. The airfare is included, so you don't even need to worry about that. The Celebrity has done a good job of including the air. It's a $750 value. It'll certainly take care of economy air from Atlanta to Quito round trip, so there's no cost towards that. All the transfers are included. They'll pick us up at the airport, drop us off. All of our Baltra trip is included, the airfare included with that. So it really is, a lot of people say, oh my gosh, it's really an expensive trip. Well, when you really break it down per day and what you're getting and where you're going, that is the big difference in this trip versus a lot of the other trips. More and more people are able to say that they've gone to the Galapagos, but let me tell you, 10 years ago, I used to ask people there, nobody had ever been, and or it's been on their bucket list forever. They couldn't get there. It was way, way more expensive. So, hopefully you guys have been able to save up some money this year by not going anywhere. So this would be the opportune time to possibly think about joining us. Like I said, we've got 5 couples right now. We can certainly use a couple more, or welcome a couple more to go along. So if anybody has any questions, go ahead and unmute yourself. And
with
ask away.
with 5 couples, you have a quarter, 25% of the ship right there. So it's almost like a real travel club experience.
Yeah, exactly. So, any questions, anybody? Well, if there's no questions, obviously you can email me if you want more information, or call me, of course. The office, my office, which is usually across the street, is not really open full time. It's by appointment only, because unfortunately there's not a whole lot of traveling going on right now. And I fell asleep most days at the desk, just trying to keep awake. So, but feel free. I can always meet you over there. The office is still there. And, if you need information or want anything else, there's a nice color brochure that I can email you in PDF fashion, and flyers and things like that. So if any of you need any of that, just let me know. Otherwise, I will say.
I do have one question.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Chuck.
Go ahead, Chuck.
The premium ocean view, what kind of a suite is that?
Mm-hmm. Carl?
I'll give you, hold on, I got the exact square footage because I pulled it up just in case anybody asked while we were on. And it's 160 square feet. It has a ocean view, window view. It's got 2 beds that convert into a queen, or you can split them into 2 singles. And then, it's a private refrigerator. It's got a flat screen TV in it. It's got room service available, and it's 160 square feet.
Does this ship have any balconies?
It does have balconies. They're just all sold out.
They're sold out. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And the penthouse is?
The penthouse is, give me one second. It is.
It definitely has a balcony.
Yeah, it definitely has a balcony. Yeah, for sure. It's has a private veranda. It's 190. The veranda is 195 square feet. The suite's 515 square feet.
Yeah. So it's big.
It's big, yeah. For a cruise ship stateroom, it's definitely big.
And I can always give the option too. If this is something that you're interested in, you want to go with us, you can always put a deposit down on the ocean view. And we can always look at a wait list for you for something else to open up in another category, if that's something that you really want. So
Absolutely.
So did the 75.44 per person is the 11-day, and then did you have a price for the 16-day?
I don't have the price for the 16-day, but if you're interested in it, we can definitely get it over to you. I'll pull it and I can send it to Mike. I didn't pull that one, but it is available. And that's taxes, fees, port charges. That's the whole deal. There's nothing else on top of that. That's the real price per person.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Hi, Margot. How are you?
I'm good. I've been here.
I know. Chuck, did we answer your question from earlier?
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
All right. Anybody else with any questions?
Mike, you said that you've got full brochures on all of this, because I'm trying to take it all down for my article, and it was you, Carl. You were going too fast for me.
I'm sorry. It's hard to do. It's hard to tell virtually. Usually I'm in the room and I can see people.
I'll get materials from Mike.
Yeah, I have it. It's in PDF format, and I can send it to you so you'll have all the information. So.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, if there's nothing else for right now, I thank you for joining us. Don't forget about our Mayflower tour for next month on September 20. I keep forgetting the date. The September 23rd, which is a Wednesday again at 6 p.m. We'll talk about the wonderful Northwest experience, the Snake River, Columbia, and the wine territory up there in Washington and Oregon. I had the good fortune to go up there in 2016, and I was totally blown away by the area up there. The wineries are great. It's amazing the different scenery that you can go from one state to the other. The further you go in, it just changes totally. So join us. Michelle will be there to give her presentation on it, and we can go from there. Carl, I thank you for joining us this evening. And of course, if you have any questions, and the great thing is direct them to me. And if I don't have the answer, I can always get Carl to get them for me. So, all right, guys. So thanks for coming, and hopefully we'll see you next month. And hopefully down the line we can see each other in person again. We just need to get some of this virus behind us, and so that we can do it. I know everybody misses it. I sure do. So
I can't wait. And when we come back, drinks on us, celebrity, at our meeting. We're going to do it. It's going to be a good celebration.
there you go. So.
All right.
All right,
everyone.
guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Have a good evening.
All right.